Self-learning manual পড়া চলছে. Table of contents. Preface. Page 1. Introduction Braille System 2. Guidelines 3. Lesson 1 The Braille Alphabet 3. Lesson 2 Capitals Paragraphs 7. Lesson 3 Punctuation Signs 10. Lesson 4 Cardinal Numbers 15. Lesson 5 Contractions 18. Lesson 6 One cell part word and whole word contractions 24. Ordinal numbers 25. Lesson 7 part word contractions 28. Lesson 8 whole word lower sign contractions 32. Lesson 9 contraction dot sign 38. Lesson 10 initial letter contractions 43. Lesson 11 final letter contractions 48. Lesson 12 short form words 52. Lesson 13 dates, letter sign, italic sign, accent mark and asterisk 55. Lesson 14 special format poetry 58. Format for a trial book 61. Model title page 62. Model contents page 63. Dedications and acknowledgements 63. Margin 63. Page numbering 63. Running head 64. Space 64. Termination sign 64. Use of erasure 64. Splitting of words 64. Division into volumes 64. Dot protection page 65. Page mark 65. Binding 65. Print label 65. Alphabetical index of Braille signs 65. Typical and problem words 69. Note on compilers 110. পরের পৃষ্ঠা Preface. Para. This manual on self-learning of English Braille Grade 2 was first published by SVH way back in 1993 under its Education to Sightless Citizens series as a component of a bilingual manual. That was the time when the Society conducted regular Braille training programs for sighted Braillists and visually impaired students through classroom as well as distance mode. As we checked the prevalent manuals, we found they followed an easy rote learning structure of 7 lines of Braille dots. Till to date, we haven't come across any Indian ink print publication to enable an individual learn English Braille with as much elaborate text as this manual. Para. In 2009, while revisiting and updating this manual, we still find the content equally helpful and empowering, with minor modifications needed in keeping with the change in keeping pace with time. During these last 16 years, several landmark events have occurred to open the doors of equal opportunity and equal rights for persons with vision impairment and total blindness. For instance, the persons with disabilities, bracket opens, equal opportunities, protection of rights, and full participation, bracket closes, Act of 1995, the National Trust Act of 1998 were passed by the Government of India, extending a legal support to the ever-neglected and deprived citizens of the country. Right to education was acknowledged as a fundamental right, requiring speedy implementation. Through phases such as the DPEP, then Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, and now as Sarva Shiksha Mission, education for all, including education of children with special needs, was launched within the existing infrastructure of regular school buildings and teachers, special educators, and assistive devices as a support network and intense capacity building programs. All these efforts generated through the political will and government machinery resulted in identification of thousands of low vision, visually impaired and blind children residing in rural and remote regions of the country, enrolled them in regular primary schools in their own community, and a process of inclusion became visible. An urgent need was felt for creating a good resource support in terms of trained manpower, standard aids and appliances, and a set of guidelines and manual for assisting field workers at the grassroots level. Next page, para. Also, the process of globalization rapidly engulfing the developing nations like India compelled us to grow techno-savvy as the market got flooded with a variety of gadgets and softwares, offering visually impaired users for the first time a choice to select the best from the better and the better from the good within varying prices. Visually impaired professionals, students, and institutions serving them are suddenly called upon to upgrade their skills and have a continuing education to move with time. Mobile phones have opened the floodgate of communication and information surfing, making visually impaired users considerably free from sourcing day-to-day print data. Keeping all these developments in mind, we are releasing this second revised edition, and we are confident that it will go a long way in guiding the English Braille Grade 2 users and their teachers with a ready reckoner. The birth bicentenary this year of Monsieur Louis Braille, 1809 to 1852, the inventor of the Braille Code, gives us a precious opportunity to dedicate this volume as our humble homage. Also, the 25th year of our society deserves a mention here, as we have managed to contribute all these years with the silent efforts of a dedicated team of volunteers and supportive friends and donors. Finally, we are very keen to use the proceeds from the sale of this manual in the production of a Braille edition soon. Henabasu, January 04, 2009. Next page. SVH Manual for English Braille Transcribing. Forward. Just as a flame of knowledge is passed on from person to person, aware or unaware, this manual owes a great debt to the U.S. Library of Congress, Washington, D.C., publication titled Instruction Manual for Braille Transcribing by Maxine, M-A-X-I-N-E, B. Dorf, D-O-R-F, and Earl, E-A-R-L-R, Sharry, S-C-H-A-R-R-Y, 1979. A small group of sighted volunteers in Calcutta, by sheer chance, got a copy of the above stated publication at a time they were searching wildly for a logical method of learning English Braille. That group of volunteers has expanded now, have motivated many more volunteers to learn through correspondence course, till a need was felt to Indianize the lesson contents, and hence this manual. This logic of teaching English Braille has been applied in teaching Bengali Braille also, and a manual has found shape in both print and Braille edition. The most noteworthy point remains that dedication of a few sighted volunteers who applied their quiet hours, intelligence, involvement, and enthusiasm has added a human touch to the otherwise uninteresting subject of Braille forced on sightless persons through rote learning. May this manual touch many more volunteers to share their vision in building reading material for their sightless brethren. Henna Basu, 1993. Text continued in next file.